Hi everyone. So I hope I'm live and audible and visible. I'm just checking. Hopefully I am live. If you can see me and hear me, can you give me a quick yes or no? For some reason I'm not able to see anyone. I'm just waiting for some 10 seconds so that we can get started. If you haven't yet um, joined, well, that's okay. Welcome. And whenever you join in, please remember to share the session. And also, please remember to like the session. It's very important also to subscribe to the session, because once you have subscribed, then you will be able to get notifications of our session, and also hit the bell icon. So with the bell icon, then the notifications become very easy. And if you haven't subscribed, then you cannot participate in the chat. So therefore, we request you all to participate, subscribe, share, like, whatever, do everything. Okay. My name is Abhilasha. We'll just wait for another 5 minutes, 10 seconds, so that we can see if somebody is coming, and then we'll get the session on the road. Today's session, of course, again, we are doing some PYQs. Now, these PYQs are very important because you get to see what the exams are like and what kind of questions you need to prepare for. See, because what happens is when we start preparing, we are only focused at CAT, and then we miss out on the other exam preparation. For example, we miss out preparing for ZAT or for SNAP or for NMAT and so on, or even for exams like CET Maharashtra and CMAT and other such exams. So what is important is that we not lose sight of the fact that these exams are also equally important. I won't say that they're uh, unimportant at all. So you, when you start preparing, prepare for CAT, but also prepare for ZAT, SNAP, NMAT, CET, and CMAT. Now, what is the difference between these two exams? The difference is that CAT only tests you on reading comprehension and verbal ability, which is para-based questions, right? So you have para jumbles, para summary, sentence placement, odd one out, those. While the other exams will also test you on grammar, they test you on direct vocabulary, they test you on critical reasoning, right? So those are portions that are not covered in your CAT syllabus, not grammar, not vocab, not CR. So this is the extra stuff that you need to do while you're preparing for CAT. So what happens is the minute you start working on your grammar and vocab, it also helps you in your RC and the VA sections of CAT, as well CR, because CR is now part of CAT RCs. So if you do prepare for the other exams, what you're doing is you're ultimately enriching your CAT preparation in a big way. So therefore, good to see that you're preparing, and good to know that you will be doing all of this. If you can see me and hear me, can you give me a quick yes or no, everyone? Hi guys, welcome all of you. My name is Abhilasha, and today we are talking previous year questions from different exams. What I have done today is I've picked up a few questions from ZAT, so we shall be covering those. Okay. Now, ZAT, of course, is a very peculiar exam because it gives you around 4 RCs of 3 questions each, and then it gives you a poem RC also. And then it gives you questions on CR, it gives you questions on fillers, it gives you questions on parajumbles. So there are all a lot of different types of questions. There are 26 questions to be done. And these 26 questions, there are a number of question types that you find there. So therefore ZAT preparation is equally important. And once CAT is over, then there's hardly 1 month left for ZAT. So it's better to start your preparation right from day one, because of course grammar, vocab, and CR will all help you in your CAT preparation also. So therefore everything is all encompassing and has to work in tandem, right? So that's something that is very important. All right, so what I have is I have some 8 questions from past year ZAT papers, and we'll try and look at these questions, try and understand them and solve them. I hope that's okay and you're ready for today's ride. Let's get started. Here's your first question. Of course, as always, it is a reading comprehension. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to read properly. Actually, 3 minutes to read. And after that 3 minutes, we will look at the questions and discuss. So I'm going to remove myself from the screen and we will take a look at this question. All right, guys, I hope you've read the passage. Let us take a look at this passage and then we will try and understand and go to the questions. So, this is a very interesting passage which talks about some creatures called the Vibrio fischeri and how they have something called a quorum sensing, which is the minimum number that is important for survival, for doing certain things, and so on. So therefore, this passage very interesting. Let's take a look. Considering the multitude of situations in which we humans use numerical information, life without numbers cannot be conceived. So he says, what was the benefit of numerical competence for our ancestors when they were not Homo sapiens? Why would animals crunch numbers? Why does animals need it? But you find out that animals, there are significant benefits for survival, and that is why a lot of animals have this. Now, there are several studies which examine the animals in their ecological environment, and those studies suggest that representing numbers enhances your ability or the animal's ability to exploit food, hunt, avoid predation, navigate, and persistent social interactions. So, before humans or competent animals, numerically competent animals evolved, microscopic bacteria, which was single celled, was existing, but it was exploiting quantitative information. Right, for that, the example of Vibrio fischeri is given, that it produces light, but produces light only when a certain number is reached. Right, so when they grow to a certain cell number of bacteria, then they all produce light, so they can distinguish when they're alone and when they're together, and they communicate the cell number. And for this, they're using a chemical language. They secrete some molecules, and the molecules increase, and then the certain number is hit, which is the quorum. Then they all start glowing. This behavior is the quorum sensing behavior. Now, all bacteria, this is not just specific to Vibrio fischeri, but all bacteria use some sort of quorum sensing to identify how many of them are there. Okay. All right, let us take a look at our question. Which of the following cannot be inferred from the passage? Is it A, ancestors of Homo sapiens used numerical competence? Ancestors of Homo sapiens interacted solely using numbers. They sensed numbers, they hunted in groups, and they exploited resources in groups. Which of these is a valid answer? You can start typing out your answers in the chat box. I'll wait for your answers, guys. Come on. Waiting for your answers. Which of these is the correct answer? Waiting for your answers, guys. Come on. Which of the following statements cannot be inferred? So, which of these can be inferred? Let's find those out. Na? So, number one, that ancestors of Homo sapiens, the bacteria were using numerical competence. Yes, and that can be proved through the Vibrio fischeri. They interacted solely using numbers is not something that we know. They sensed numbers, yes, is something that can be inferred. They hunted in groups is something that you can infer, and they exploited resources in group also can be inferred. So anything that can be inferred is not my answer. So I'm cutting out 1, cutting out 3, 4, and 5. So my correct answer is going to be option number B, which says that they interacted solely in using numbers. Now, we don't know if they were interacting solely using numbers, and therefore B is incorrect. Guys, you have to understand, in ZAT, the passages are small. They're like 350, 400 words, and there are 3 questions for every passage. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the second question. Based on the passage, which of the statements best defines quorum sensing in bacteria? So, what is quorum sensing? Let's try and find out. So, bacteria respond when they discern enough numbers around them. They multiply only till they reach their required numbers. They chat, okay, very interesting, huh? Only when they're in groups. They do not communicate beyond certain numbers. So, if let's say X is a number, then beyond that they will not communicate. Or they communicate only in numerical terms with others. Which of these is valid? Let's find out. What is the definition, or what is your understanding of quorum sensing? That is what this question is asking you, right? So, what is quorum? Quorum is essentially minimum required number for doing anything, right? That is the minimum required number for doing anything. What is that? I'm waiting for some answers. All right, so let's understand what is quorum sensing. It's a very simple question. So, okay, I have got one answer. So, quorum sensing essentially, like I said, is the minimum number that is required for doing anything. So, bacteria respond when they discern enough number around them. Well, that's valid. And that is what quorum is all about, that they will all start blinking when there are enough of them, right? They multiply only till they reach their required numbers is not quorum sensing, or not in the sense that it is based on the passage. It could be, but that quorum sensing is not mentioned here. They chat only when they are in groups is not quorum sensing. They do not communicate beyond certain numbers. Again, that's not what the passage intended to tell you. And bacteria communicate only in numerical terms, again, was not something that the passage was intending to tell you. So therefore not E also. Okay, I hope you got that. Let's go to the next question. Guys, if you have an answer, please answer. All right. The third question says, which of the following is not based on the premises of the passage? So, which of these will not follow, right? To de escalate a border tension, countries carry out mirror deployment. No one can whistle a symphony, it takes a whole orchestra to play it. Teams fear a red card as it would present an advantage for the opponents. People protest in large numbers because it helps them get their voices heard. And politicians rally with numbers to woo their undecided voters. So, which of these is like quorum sensing, and whichever is not, that will be your answer. Okay. So let's take a look. Which is not based on the premise of the passage. That means which of these is not talking about quorum sensing or quorum, which is the minimum number you need to have. So let's find out which of these is not talking about quorum sensing. All right, come on, guys. Let's do this. Okay, so quorum sensing is that basic number which beyond which certain activities can be done. So when you de-escalate a border tension, you carry out mirror deployment. I will remove 10 people, you will remove 10 people. I will remove 20 people, then you will remove 20 people. That's mirror deployment. And that's quorum, right? I do it, you do it. So therefore, not A. No one can whistle a symphony, it takes a whole orchestra to play it. But the whole orchestra is not necessarily the quorum. So I'm going to put a star on this one. Look at C. Teams fear a red card as it would present an advantage for the opponents. Obviously, they have one more. So therefore, it is advantageous. So I will eliminate C. I look at D. People protest in large numbers because it helps them get their voices heard. So there is a quorum. So I'm eliminating D. Anything that is quorum, I'm eliminating. Politicians rally with numbers to woo their undecided voters. So whoever are the voters that are not decided, you call them. So therefore, not E. So here, the only one that says that, okay, this is not a quorum is option number B. And therefore, that becomes your correct answer. Okay. All right. Let's go and take a look at the next question. Now, this one is a grammar question. So, which of these sentences have incorrect usage of articles? So, we have to identify where the articles are incorrectly used and make that our answer. So, let's do this. The sentences are: we are going to a restaurant, but we haven't decided which one. We went to the toilet behind a tree. It was the November after we went to Indonesia. My friend is traveling to UK. She drinks medicine by a liter. Would you rather go out or watch a TV? Which of these are incorrect? You need to identify that. Okay, guys, let's get your answers in. I'll be waiting for a minute and then we will take a look. All right, let's take a look at these sentences. I think my answer is very, very clear now. At least to me, it is very clear. Okay. So let's take a look. So we are going to a restaurant. Okay, article. But we haven't decided which one is perfectly correct. We are going to a restaurant, some restaurant. Here, a is equal to some unknown one. Okay, so that's perfectly okay. We went to the toilet behind a tree. So there we've used the and we've used a. So which toilet? Which the minute I say the toilet, I'm talking of a specific toilet, the one that is behind some tree. Okay, so the toilet is referring to a specific toilet. Which one? The one that is behind the tree. Okay. Behind a particular tree. So that's correct. It was the November after we went to Indonesia. Now, which November was it? The one that happened after we went to Indonesia. So therefore, the is used again, same way as in the previous sentence, perfectly okay. A specific November, right? My friend is traveling to UK. Now, the minute we have countries which have, I'll write it here, states, kingdom, okay, or are plurals, you must use the with them. Okay, so therefore the UK and not UK. Okay, so we will say the USA, the UK, okay, the UAE, and Netherlands is plural, and therefore we say the Netherlands, right? So therefore 4 has an error. Okay, so let's put a cross here. She drinks medicine by a liter. No, the idiom is by the liter. Okay, when I say by the liter, it's a unit. So by the liter, not by a liter. So therefore 5 has an error. Would you rather go out or watch a TV? No, when I'm talking about TV, I'm saying just television, not a specific television unit or not a specific television set. So therefore, I don't want to use a here. I just want to say watch TV. Okay. And that is why 6 also has an error. So sentences 4, 5, 6, all three have incorrect usage of articles. So I'm going to take option number B as my correct answer. Okay, that's the one where this incorrect usage of articles is given. Okay, I hope you got that. See, in ZAT, articles, prepositions, these are tested by the dozen. So if you do know them, see, I've used by the dozen, right? So if you know these articles and prepositions well, then this is an exam that you will do those 2 grammar questions very easily. So there's no harm in knowing your articles and prepositions. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one. Okay. This is a filler. So there is a sentence that is given with 3 blanks and you have to identify which of these will be the correct answer, whether it is A, B, C, D, E. It says the importance of horizontal stratification, higher education is widely acknowledged. Some attention has been applied to horizontal stratification dash compulsory schooling. All right, so let's try and see what will be the correct answer. I'm going to just take a moment. You tell me what the correct answer is. Is it whereas with, to, less to? Is it while within, far less within? Is it while without, further less within? Is it while on, far fewer about? Or is it whereas about, for less off? Come on, guys. Yes, I'm waiting for your answers. Let's take a look. Any answers from anyone? Come on, guys. Let's get your answers in. I'm just going to check the comments. Oh no. All right, let's take a look. So this one says, one thing is a very beautiful clue. So it says horizontal stratification dash higher education. Similarly, horizontal stratification dash compulsory schooling. Right? So therefore, the word that I'm going to fit here, here, and here have to be the same. Okay. The importance of horizontal stratification in higher education. Similarly, horizontal stratification in compulsory schooling. So I'm looking for the same word. So that means blank 1, blank 2, blank 3, and blank 4. So blanks 2 and 4 have to be the same word. Right? So let me check. With, to, no. Within, within. Without, within, no. On, about, no. These are all incorrect. About, of. So here, very clearly, the correct answer has to be option number B. Okay, which says within and within. Let's try now reading it and see. Okay. The first thing that I notice is that, or this is the second thing that I've noticed. The first I've noticed is this structure. The second thing I noticed is there was a part of the sentence, then there was a comma, and then there was another part of the sentence, right? So that means was a this was a subordinate clause and this was a primary clause. Okay, so I know a subordinate clause always starts with a subordinating conjunction, right? So I'm looking for one of those. But interestingly, whereas, while, whereas are both subordinating conjunctions, while and whereas. But still, that's something that you should know. This is a complex sentence structure, right? So, okay, so while the importance of horizontal stratification is widely acknowledged, so we are saying on one hand that importance of horizontal stratification in higher education is widely acknowledged. So on the other hand, obviously something has not been given attention. So if here importance is widely acknowledged, here less attention has been given, right? So too less doesn't work. Far less works very beautifully. Further less, there's no such thing as further less. Far fewer attention will not work. Fewer works with only number data, right? Far less will not work. So my best answer still remains far less attention has been applied. And the while, of course, is a subordinating conjunction. So let's read. So it says, while the importance of horizontal stratification within higher education is widely acknowledged, far less attention has been applied to horizontal stratification within compulsory schooling. And now see what a beautiful sentence we've got. So of course the correct answer here is option number B. And very logical this question was, wasn't it? And I know that my answer could have been just solved with the with that within clue, which was what I did when I wrote this exam. All right, let's do the next one. Okay, here's another one, very interesting. So there were 8 words that are given, and you have to take some combination. I'll write 7 here. Some combination of these words and see which one will fit these blanks. Okay, most appropriate sequence. So this is blank 1, this is blank 2, and this is blank 3. And we need 3 words. So what will be the correct answer? You tell me. All right, in 1942, the French writer Albert Camus composed an essay, The Myth of Sisyphus. It draws on the Greek fable of a man condemned to roll a rock up a mountain only to have it roll back down under its own weight. A something that lasts for eternity. So something is happening that will keep happening again and again and again. Okay, all right. Camus argues that this image obviously shows. So I'll take shows the human condition in a world where we can no longer make sense of events. Okay, but instead of committing suicide, we should uh, leave ourselves to this elusive feeling of absurdity and bear it as best we can. In this sense, Sisyphus is the ideal hero. All right, so let's take a look. So it draws on the Greek fable of a man condemned to roll a rock up a mountain only to have it roll back down under its own weight. A surrender, no. A choice that lasts, no. Symbolizes will not work. I'm looking for a noun, so quandary is a possibility. Attune will not work. An option. Reconcile will not work. Depicts will not work. So four I can fit here. A quandary that lasts for an eternity. Camus argues that this image, okay, I can take symbolizes, I can take depicts, okay. So I can take three, or I can take symbolizes, or I can take depicts, okay. Not reconcile, okay. So symbolizes and depicts in blank number two. The human condition in a world where we can no longer make sense of events. But instead of committing suicide, we should what? We should uh, reconcile ourselves to this elusive feeling. We should give ourselves up, leave. So reconcile. So my three answers will be quandary, which is 4. My last answer will be 7. So with 4 and 7, of course, I only get one option. And symbolizes and depicts would have both worked, but we can take 4, 3, and 7. So 4, 3, and 7, that's option number E and the correct answer. Okay. All right, let's do the next one. Question number 7. Study the first sentence and then identify from among the options given the closest antonym of the highlighted word in the second sentence. Okay. It's conventional wisdom that procreation between first cousins is unhealthy, but what are the actual genetic risks? Okay. So I'm looking for the word actual and looking for an antonym. Okay. It is conventional wisdom that procreation between first cousins is unhealthy, but what are the actual genetic risks? Find for me an antonym of the word actual. All right, waiting for your answers, guys. Come on, very quickly. Anyone with an answer? All right, so you're saying what are the actual genetic risks? So here we are saying something which is not a genetic risk. So can I use tangible? No. Can I use relative? No. Can I use abstract? No. Hard? No. My best answer will be unfounded. So something that has no base. So because we are saying it's conventional wisdom that procreation is unhealthy, but what are the actual risks? There is none. Okay, it is all unfounded. Okay. All right, let's go to the next question. Here we are. Read the following paragraph. Who could resist the idea of remembering everything they wanted to without trying? Learning would be made easy, exams or something, and you would never forget where you left your keys. And memory related disorders like Alzheimer's would have met their match. So it is of little surprise that scientists have turned their attention to ways of something human memory using techniques that something add, supplement, or even mimic parts of the brain. The immediate goal is to treat memory disorders, but the idea of a memory something is for everyday life is gaining ground. Okay. So you want something that will add to your memory. So you're looking for a memory aid or some sort of device. All right, take your time and we will try and solve it together. All right, come on, guys. Oh, I hope all of you have hit the like button, guys. Everyone. If you haven't done that till now, please do it. You know how we love your likes and everything else. All right. So let's take a look at this question. Who could resist the... Oh, I've got one answer, which is a C. Let's take a look. Who could resist the idea of remembering everything they wanted to without trying? Oh, that would be wonderful. Learning would be made easy. Exams a joy, but why am I'm saying easy? So not a joy, not a routine, because that's not easy, not a routine. A breeze would work. So exams a breeze, it would happen very easily. You breezily do something, that means you do it very easily, and you would never forget where you left your keys. And memory related disorders like Alzheimer's would have met their match. Okay, very nice. So now he says, okay, so it is of little surprise. That means it's not surprising. Little means no, not surprising that scientists have turned their attention to ways of enhancing, okay, exploring human memory using techniques. But are you using techniques of exploring or enhancing? So I will say enhancing. Okay, I could have used expanding also or augmenting, but because I've already eliminated choices A, C, A, B, and D, so I'm saying enhancing. I could use augmenting also, and I could have used expanding also. Okay, so those three. So I'm saying augmenting, enhancing, expanding. These will work for me. Okay, so enhancing human memory using techniques that awaken parts of the brain, not really. That invigorate parts of the brain, yes. That stimulate, yes, stimulate will work. That trigger parts of the brain, no. I'm not looking at trigger. So invigorate or stimulate will work, not simulate. Simulate means to copy, so therefore not B. Okay, so to stimulate, supplement, or even mimic parts of the brain. The immediate goal is to treat memory disorders, but the idea of a memory aid or device, so I could use aid, but I could also use prosthesis, which means a limb, okay, something that you attach, it's an artificial limb, right? A prosthesis is an artificial limb. So just like you would have an artificial limb, you would attach an artificial brain, and that would help you, get everything immediately. All right, so that makes a lot of sense. So the idea of a memory prosthesis works very beautifully. So let me just erase aid and device from here. Okay, so I think my answer. I've got prosthesis. So therefore my correct answer should be option number C. It's a breeze, enhancing, stimulate, and prosthesis. And therefore correct answer will be C. Now the good thing with that is that the words are close, but you are able to eliminate. See, we were able to eliminate option 1 straight away, option B straight away, option D straight away. So 3 options were already gone in the first round. And then between B's, so simulate was the word that helped me eliminate option E also. And then that's how we got to option number C. Now, this was again a question that I had actually done in the exam. So I found this to be fairly easy and doable. Okay. I hope you got that, guys. The correct answer, of course, was C, which is what we have marked also. All right, that brings us to the end of this session. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. If you did find it helpful, please remember to like the session. Okay, also remember to share it with your friends and family, and also to subscribe. If you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe and also hit the bell icon so that you can get notification for future sessions. We'll have another session day after tomorrow at 1 p.m. Sunday, right? So do make sure you're there. We'll be covering some more interesting questions, and that's it. With that, we come to the end of this session. Thank you, guys. I hope you found the session useful. Bye-bye. See you again. Sunday will be the day we'll meet again.